My goal for the cheerleaders are to make them better than they were last year, make them grow as cheerleaders, both in their cheering ability and their stunting, and just all around better girls than they were the year before. Our goal with the freshmen is really to make sure that we improve their strength and their flexibility. They work really hard. Coach Lee works really hard with them in their athletic PE classes to improve their strength and improve their conditioning. When they come from middle school coaches do a great job, but high school's a whole nother level, so we have to improve on their strength. Holding somebody up in the air for 60 seconds to almost 2 minutes is a hard thing to do, and sometimes they don't quite have the strength when they get in as freshmen, and we have to build on that. We enter 2 types of competitions. We enter one that's through Universal Cheerleaders Association, or UCA. That is where we go to camp every year, and we enter a state competition in December, and we're up for a state championship at that point. And then we also enter a nationals competition through UCA. It's the National High School Cheerleader Championship, and that's what you see on ESPN every year around March or April. The competition's actually in February, but it usually airs on ESPN. They air the top 5 teams from each division on ESPN in March or April. We also enter more of an all-star division, all-star competition. Those are more local competitions, Spirit Blast, and a couple of competitions that we compete against, schools like Destrehan. We always enjoy the competitions against local teams. At the beginning of the year, before we go to camp, we set goals, tumbling goals. What new skills do they want to learn? What do they want to achieve for the year? We also set stunning goals. What new stunts, what new tricks do they want to learn that they can show the fans at football games and also for competition? We set those every year in May, right before we go to camp, and then we work all year to try to achieve them. Some of the new things we're working on are some more twisting stunts. They're things that are a lot harder than what we've typically done at football games, where the girls go up into a stunt and they twist down into a cradle where they catch them. It's a lot more difficult, the higher set of difficulty than we've ever had before, and so that's some of the things we're working on, trying to integrate some more difficult stunts. We've gotten pretty good at the ones we've always done, and so now we want to make them just a little bit harder. I feel like I have a great group. I've got 10 seniors, so next year I'm going to miss those girls a lot, but I've got a good group of freshmen, sophomores, and juniors that they all work really hard. They're really committed to it. They work really hard at home and here at practice. When I tell them to go home and practice a cheer or stretch or things like that on their own, they do it, which is something that not every coach has the luxury of having. They do work really hard, and I just see great things for our squad. I was a cheerleader in high school. I did gymnastics for 14 or 15 years, so I was more of a tumbler than I was a cheerleader. But then I did do cheerleading for a couple years in high school. And so I do have experience with the cheerleading as well as with tumbling.